if the game of the week was any sign of what's to come in the playoffs, we are in store for some craziness in April, guys. Welcome to the Week 9 Monday Night Postgame Show presented by Burns Tire. I'm Joey. You guys know this handsome crew by now. Ben, Ellis, Ryan, and Matt. Monday night lived up. We had 2 good games at 9. 10 o'clock was a little more, as we, I think, expected to a point, a little more out of hand.
It was a regular Monday at 10.
Regular Monday, but the game of the week, as I mentioned, Monstars and Redemption, went the way I know I wanted, not because I don't like the Monstars, because now we have a lot to talk about between now and the first week in April when those playoffs start. So, as we talked about in the pregame, the door is open for teams 4, 5, 6, 7, Temptations, Run TMC, Goon Squad, even Redemption, to snag that 3 seed now. And the Monstars are done, right?
Yeah.
Monstars 6-3. So now they have to hang out and watch, and as their fate gets determined as well. We'll start there with the game of the week. Not so much what happened in that game, but Jalen Graham made a very strong case for MVP. What from that game can you guys take as we look ahead to the playoffs?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, to start off, Redemption was missing some of their bigger players, so their whole game today changed. A lot of passing, a lot of taking times with their shots, proving that, able to beat the Monstars even without their big players. While the Monstars, on the other hand, a lot of ball hogging that went on in that game, rushing shots, driving to the basket, getting fouled. I think if the Monstars took their time with the shots, just like Redemption did, maybe they could have scored more. I was thinking it was going to be a high-scoring game after that first half, or that first quarter. I think it was like 20-17, something like that. Yep. Didn't score that much for the rest of the game, though.
Yeah, it was rather an emotional game, and like Matt said, they were missing some of their bigger players. Matt Pills wasn't there, Pete wasn't there. They didn't really have an inside go-to presence, so it was all Jalen Graham on the perimeter. And in the third quarter, Jalen Graham and Reggie Stewart were going at it, bucket for bucket, playing each other on defense, and Jalen came out victorious. And I was a little surprised to see that in the stat sheet that Jalen outscored him by, I think, 10 or so points, but that wasn't even the half of it. He dominated on the glass, he dominated in the assist department. Jalen Graham he was the story of the game. They just could not stop him. Scott Korshard had a quiet game. Almost the rest of the team kind of had a quiet game. Jalen Graham single-handedly willed them to a close victory over the Monsters.
Definitely, and looking at the remaining games now, Temptation still with 3 to play. They'll be in action tomorrow against Run TMC. They now actually control their own destiny out of the 2 lost teams, Run TMC, Temptations, and Redemption, because Temptations beat Redemption earlier in the year. So if Temptations win out, they're the 3 seed. We'll come back to that later. There's a lot more there now that, as I mentioned, Redemption took care of the Monstars. Let's get back to my notes. Light it up in the firm. We'll kind of go a little more quickly through these. Both those teams in their final game of the year. The firm won by 20. It was never really close. What did the firm show you, if anything?
They did show that they were still the same team we thought, the high-flying team that could get out in transition, but they really just didn't shoot the ball well at all. They were very poor from beyond the arc, and they were very poor in the mid-range game. They won this game by attacking the glass on the offensive end and getting to the rim, which is what we kind of knew. But what I thought a takeaway was they let up 85 points, which to Light It Up, who's the 16th ranked team in the power rankings, that needs to improve in the playoffs if they're going to win a game or 2.
And from that perspective, Light It Up now also done at 1-8. They have to kind of wait and see if they will in fact be that last seed, or if it's now the only other 5 lost teams are Sports Look and Lob 203. The other blowout, Avengers and Rookies over here on court 2 at 10. I mean, I know I thought the Avengers had a chance to kind of keep this close. It was all Rookies attacking. The Rookies now, let's get this right.
12th seed. Right?
Well, right. They are 4-5, so it's kind of hard. We're all messed up, but they're one of the teams with 5 losses. So they're right now technically at 11, but they're in play for 10, 11, 12-ish.
Right.
What did they show you tonight as we go to the playoffs?
Well, like Ryan was just saying how Jalen was carrying the Monstars tonight, we got to talk about Jamal Jones. He really carried the Rookies tonight. He put up 30 points and he was on fire from deep. Did everything all over the floor. They also played really well in the defensive end, number 15. I can't remember his name.
Elliot
Walker, yeah.
Elliot Walker had a great game as well. So a lot of positives to take away, I think, for the Rookies coming forward.
Yeah, Eric Singleton came off the bench, absolutely explosive. Definitely. It seemed like every time he came out, they just went on a scoring run. I think they went on like a 12-4, and then an 8-0 run. Singleton and Jalen Smalls. Oh no, not Jalen Smalls. Jamal Jones combined for 52 of the 86 points. So they're going to be a threat. Yeah, coming into the playoffs.
And the other game that we haven't talked about yet, and then we'll do more playoff stuff. White Magic fell to the Renegades. 6-point game. No Tyreed.
No Tyreed for the Renegades.
So I know the Renegades will win this. We looked this up earlier
First
today.
win without Tyreed.
First win without Tyreed for the Renegades. They still have some games to play, but they're at 4-3.
They can give a big thanks to Davin tonight. Serpinski, he had a great game. I think he had double-digit points, maybe double-digit rebounds as well.
So just to recap quickly, the Renegades with 3 losses, they still have 2 games to play. They're in that middle tier right now. If they win out, they'll be definitely a top 8 seed in that case. And White Magic now 2-7 with the loss, and they have the same record as the Avengers with 7 losses, and the Avengers beat White Magic head-to-head. So White Magic is now 15th, barring Sports Looking Lob 203. Renegades, no Tyreed, look pretty good though.
Definitely. Renegades had a lot to take.
Zeke Howard had a breakout performance, 27 points. Seemed like he was grabbing every board for them. I mean, Howard and Serpinski are a dominant force down in the paint. So if and when Tyreed comes back, that's going to be a good addition.
Also helped that the Avengers really didn't shoot the ball well from outside and had no offensive game inside of fully. Right.
So tomorrow, Run TMC.
You said Avengers. Yeah, whatever.
What did I mean?
White Magic.
Oh, my bad.
They also didn't shoot well.
They did
Neither-
not shoot well.
Right, they also did.
Zach
Neither
Shapiro
shot
had a
well.
good game though.
You just
Zach
that
Shapiro.
there it is.
Zach
If you
Shapiro.
had the over on a half a Zach Shapiro mention, you're a big winner tonight. Unlike the teams that got blown out and the Monstars, who now, like we mentioned, have to sit and wait. So now everything gets focused to Game of the Week Part 2, and I have a smile on my face. Run TMC and Temptations again, playing for the 3 seed or 4 seed for Run TMC and the Temptations. We already talked about the Temptations now actually controlling their own fate for that 3 seed. Any quick thoughts on that game? And I know tomorrow's also Lob Sports Look, if I have that correct.
Yeah, I think Run TMC has the most to prove heading into the playoffs. Can't really tell if they're a top team. I don't know if they're a top 5 team. I mean, they've come close. I still can't forget, when they came close to beating No Limit. I think ever since then, people have taken them more seriously. Will Hudson's a dominant force, and they got those little Zacco brothers. So
Little.
Hudson and the Blake brothers, can't forget about that.
Oh, yeah.
Bunch of brothers. Also tomorrow, the other very interesting matchup to keep an eye on, Goon Squad. Seems like they haven't played a lot of games either. They're one of those
And they're
teams.
still sitting there right on the outside.
And they're 3-3. They'll take on No Limit tomorrow. Another test for No Limit. Anything from that game quickly, as Goon Squad, if they win out now, can climb back up from.
I think it might be a little tough for the Goon Squad to win out a little bit, though. They are
Yeah,
playing
they
No
do.
Limit.
It'll be a tough
Has
game
lap
for them,
lost.
but I'm interested to see the point guard matchup of Brandon Massaro and Kevin Rivera. Everyone talks about Matt Marconi and Terrell Vargas on both sides, but that's going to be a big matchup. If one can take the other out of the game from distributing and hitting outside shots, that's going to be huge because they distribute the ball so well to the shooters on the outside and the guys in the paint.
Goon Squad finishes with No Limit, Redemption, and Serial Killers. So
Not an
3-3
easy
coming in. Yeah,
Not
that's going to be fun in the loosest term of the word fun. So, a lot to be determined tomorrow. Tune in for that. We'll be back live with the pregame show. When you're listening to this, it'll be tonight, Tuesday, 8 o'clock, as always, around the arc. We'll be taking playoff questions again as we get ready for those huge matchups. And we also have to mention quickly Stranger Danger and the Serial Killers. Maybe an upset there, one of Serial Killer's other real tests. I love pissing off Tyron Coward. So, we have a lot to look forward to tonight in Week 9, and then we have a whole Week 10 of makeup games that, the last week of the season will determine the playoff picture.
Yeah, right.
See you tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. We'll be back here for 4 more games, 2 at each hour, starting at 9:15. Another post-game show where we'll have more stuff set in stone after tomorrow. And then we'll also be breaking down, the tiebreakers as far as head-to-head for you, and then point differential as we get ready for Week 10. Week 9 Tuesday should be good. We will see you guys later today, Tuesday night at In Sports and Trumbull.